Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be joined by the legend, Andy Cole. Andy, first and foremost, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, very good.
Good. Your book came out recently. I'm curious to know, what was the decision to finally get the Andy Cole story out, and what was the process like of writing that book? Because I've recently read it, and it's very, very honest, and it's very eye-opening, and it's not something people would expect, that level of honesty from a typical footballer's book.
I blame my mate. Yeah, I'll say so. I blame my mate. He just asked me, fancy doing a book or another one. And I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
And then when he said, I said, right then, go on. So he said, he had someone who wanted to write it. Sat down and spoke with Leo. And Leo was really good. We got on really well. And I think that's why it's even come out better than I thought it did. You know, I think my rapport with Leo, you know, the way we just used to have a laugh and joke, we used to pop round my house and that, we used to sit down and just talk in general. I think within the book, I think you can read it and realise that I had a very good rapport with him. Yeah,
you can really hear your voice in it, which is a real testament to it. Are you happy with how it came out then? You're happy with the reaction of the book, etc.?
Oh, I'm buzzing. I'm very happy. I think everyone who's read it said exactly the same thing. Very honest, very insightful. Naturally, no one actually knows what goes on.
Yeah, of course.
In football or in personal lives to a certain extent or whatever. You know, so for me, I think I was happy that just to get it out there. Then when people's perceptions started changing a little bit. It's not that I was worried about that anyway, but you know, people's perception changed a little bit.
I think people's perceptions have changed of you recently. Certainly a lot of the work that you're doing with Kidney Research UK and stuff. Are you enjoying that? Are you finding that rewarding?
Yeah, I am, because this is something that I've got to live with for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I know everyone seems to think once you have the transplant, everything's, it's fine, whatever. But the top and bottom of it is, it's not a cure. It's never going to be a cure. You know, you've got medication for the rest of your life. You've got to deal with a lot of mental issues, you know, because you're constantly fighting yourself because you want to do things that you could do before that you struggle to do now. So for me, being involved in kidney research has been really good. It's been an eye-opening experience as well. And I think the response that I've had from a lot of people in the same position as myself, I think a lot of people look at me like, he'll get through it a lot easier, and, you know, mentally, you know, he's more prepared for it. I'm like anybody else who goes through this illness. You know, it's tough, it's a tough journey.
What we will do, the reason I asked you is I will put a link to Kidney Research UK and your page in this video. So if anybody does want to get involved, donate or do something, there'll be a link in this video to all your stuff. Moving on to slightly nicer topics, you were recently one of the nominees for the Premier League Hall of Fame. How did that make you feel?
You know, I'll be brutally honest, it is what it is.
Yeah?
I know a lot of people that I know, a lot of my mates are disappointed that I wasn't voted in now. But I turn around and say, you know, it is what it is.
To be in the conversation must be a nice pat on the back.
I was fortunate to play with some great players in a fantastic football team. All the teams I played for were brilliant. You know, to give me the opportunity to be standing in front of you now, to score the goals that I scored and achieve what I achieved. If I end up in there, my parents will be absolutely delighted. I don't think my dad would have expected this when I was a young kid growing up, that I'll become the individual that I've ended up becoming. So I think for me personally, those accolades are really for my family, my mum and dad and my brother and my sisters, and like my niece and nephew, to show them that, you know, if you put your mind to things, you know, you can do what you want to do.
That's a wonderful message. I'm going to ask you a question I asked a former Newcastle teammate of yours, Mr. John Beresford. Who's the better footballer, Peter Beardsley or Paul Scholes?
Oh, that's a tough one. That is a real tough one. Two different positions. Pete was a football genius. I learned a hell of a lot from him when I was at Newcastle. Hell of a lot. And I'm thankful that I played with Peter because he was a great player. Scholes, he was a magician. You know, and it's hard for me to settle the pair of them. They're both fantastic players.
It's a very, very good answer. Andy Cole, thank you so much for giving us your time, and wish you safe travels home.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, man.